Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 1618, written by LifeIsBizarre, The Matrix Ignited. Back in 1997, I had a dream that I was sitting on the school bus heading to school as usual. But there was a general tension in the air that was not normally there. Talks with China had deteriorated further in the night, and everyone was scared things had gone too far. As we drove, there was an emergency broadcast over the radio. It had happened. They had launched the bombs and we were retaliating. The bus driver slowed and started to weave across the road as we looked in horror at the horizon, at the distant trails of the missiles streaked across the sky, followed by a blinding flash, a roar of oncoming flame, and suddenly waking up, screaming in a dark, unfamiliar environment surrounded by similar screams. I looked around at rows and rows of unfamiliar metal beds with hundreds, if not thousands of people wired into machinery and feeling completely disoriented. A man dressed in an olive green uniform was running down the hall towards me and stopped, out of breath, coughing in front of me. "What the hell happened there?" he asked, looking around in shock at everyone, the majority of which were still screaming. I managed to choke out, "Global nuclear war. Everyone is dead." Christ, they warned us this might happen. Bloody programmers. A little too close to home, right, sir? No wonder everyone is so worked up. Give me a few moments, okay? He started to talk into a small walkie-talkie-like device on his wrist. As he did so, I had a fleeting memory pass before my eyes. The year was 27-something. There were 40,000 people on board to somewhere else. We couldn't go home. It was unbelievable. I looked down on my hands and they were older than they should have been. Do we have long to go? How's the ship doing?" I stammered out. "I don't remember, sir. It'll make it harder to go back under." Then with a small smile, "But it's good to see you. They reckon they still have another 20 years or so, but we are having a good time." The walkie crackled into life and the man nodded. "Okay, they've changed the simulation. We're going to do a mass restart." The screaming started to fade out almost immediately. "We are taking you back to the start of the day. Don't worry, it's just going to be a bad dream. Stay sane in there, okay?" And suddenly, I'm awake in my bed. No war, no nukes, everything proceeded as normal. Watching The Matrix a few years later, and that dream suddenly resurfaces. When he woke up and looked around, I had chills. Case file 1618. The Matrix Ignited. Now this is an interesting twist. The idea that the real world, we are in a simulation, but it's not just for fun. It's to occupy our minds in an interstellar voyage across the galaxy. That is so sci-fi and awesome. Now, I wouldn't say just from this one story it's concrete evidence or certain proof, no. But it is very interesting, and it's definitely something I kind of enjoy because, waking up and realizing, yeah, okay, this is our life. I'm like the captain of a ship traveling to a new star system. It really appeals to the Star Trek nerd in me to just go out there and explore. I mean, it is the final frontier as far as we know. And it would make certain sense if we do develop, or we did in the real world, cryonics or stasis, but it only preserves the body and the mind is still active. You don't want to just be sitting there, yeah, preserved, but you'd go insane over hundreds of years, just staring at the pod. So you need some way to entertain your mind, keep it occupied. Case file number 1619, written by 888 miles per hour, The Cafe Triplets. First, let me explain that I'm Portuguese, and in Portuguese, while trimegio means triplet, and quadrumegio means quadruplet, and so on, gemeo can mean both twin and be a catch-all term to mean any number of siblings from a multiple birth. So the discussion my friend and I had with our friend may sound awkward in English, but it made perfect sense in Portuguese. Some 12 years ago, I was in college. It was a hot, sunny day, and I was hanging out with some friends in a cafe on campus. It was a big group, so some were chatting and others were studying. I was people watching. Suddenly, a girl with long brown hair runs by, wearing bootcut jeans, a large brown belt, and a white peasant shirt. I'll never forget those clothes. Seconds later, a girl looking exactly like her, with the same hair and the exact same clothes, runs in the same direction. Moments later, a third girl, once again the mirror image of the first two, and wearing the same ensemble, runs by following them. I turn to my friends to see if anyone notices, and sure enough, My friend A is staring at the place the girls had passed by, jaw slack, and his eyes almost jumping out of their sockets. "Did you see that?" I ask. A nods. We turn to the main building, where the girls had run into, and see our friend M chatting with one of the girls. She bids him farewell, and we run up to him to figure out who the hell she was. Apparently, she was an old childhood friend of M. "Is she a twin?" A asks, placing the question I was dreading to know the answer to. "Yeah," M says, laughing. "Why? Did you see them together?" We start laughing too, relieved. Of course there had to be a logical explanation for it. I thought we were hallucinating, I say, and M nods, understanding. "Yeah, it's silly that they still dress the same even when adults. Their parents must have started the trend. It's silly, isn't it? It's acting like they're the same instead of different individuals. Plus, it's so impractical and expensive, always buying 3 sets of the same clothes." And this is where everything went weird again. "What do you mean?" asks M. "You know, the triple stuff," I say. "Instead of dressing 3 kids with the same clothes, you'd just dress 1. "No," says M. "What do you mean by 3? They're twins, not triplets." We get into a huge argument. A and I are sure M is messing with us, while M claims we're the ones messing with him. He ends up calling his friend, who assures us she only has the one sister, while side-eyeing A and I, because who the hell are these strangers claiming to know more about her family than she does? We never figured out who or what the third girl was, nor which of them was the fake twin. Case notes of file 1619, the Cafe Triplets. For sure, this is an odd glitch to place. Okay, there's twins, they look identical, that's simple enough. Then you get this extra person that is identical. Is it a doppelganger of a twin? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Even twins would have doppelgangers, right? And if we're going with a doppelganger that is instilling a fear, not just a genetic random copycat. It didn't seem to invoke that, so maybe it is just a really weird fluke. But why would they be in the same location like that? It just seems wearing the same clothes. Clearly that was calculated. I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I suppose it's a doppelganger event. But I suspect that isn't the full story. There's something else too going on. Now time for the joke of the day. Dr. Frankenstein entered a bodybuilding contest. Upon arrival, he realized he misunderstood the objective. Yes, because Dr. Frankenstein built the great monster. And I mean, if you think about it, that is bodybuilding. He literally constructed a body. Not the kind of bodybuilding we're used to, though. You need a lot of steroids for that one. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.